Hello, my name is Justin Adams, and welcome to Jay's Days. As recently I did Home Alone, now I'm doing its sequel, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Before I get things started, I should say that I think this movie is the original Hangover Part 2. I say that because this movie is literally the same exact thing. I know that Home Alone is a kid's franchise and The Hangover is a hardcore R-rated adult franchise, but check out the similarities. Home Alone comes out in 1990. It becomes one of the highest grossing films of all time, not until a movie called The Hangover came out. And then not only was it the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, but it became a very, very profitable movie for Warner Bros. And then they both decided to get a sequel. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Literally the same as Home Alone, but set in a bigger place, has bigger stakes, and has the same stars doing the same exact things. The Hangover Part 2 comes around. Same thing, different place, bigger stakes, same people. It's literally the same thing. It's like the Hangover guys were like watching Home Alone 2 and they were like, we can do literally the same exact thing. Not exactly the same thing, but then again, the same exact thing. Guys, this movie isn't bad. I don't think it's bad at all, actually. Good. It's good, just like I think The Hangover Part 2 is good. Yes, before you bash me, I do think The Hangover Part 2 is entertaining. I do think that it's the same exact movie. It is repetitive. It is just a massive rehash. But it's... at least they take chances, you know? They take a little bit more chances. With Kevin's journey, we get to see him in New York, and we get to see, the first Home Alone had great cinematography, and had great music. Home Alone 2 has the same great music, has the same great cinematography, but this time we get New York shots. And that's just, I think that's really cool. The story sucks. The story, just like The Hangover Part 2, it sucks. It's just... oh, we so happen to fall into the same exact situation we fell into the year previous. It's just, it's a very, it's super, super unrelatable. Like the first movie, it was relatable. We see this kid get left home alone. We see this kid have fun. And then we see this kid get terrified and then overcome these villains. Home Alone 2 comes along and it's like the same story, but they're like, it's as if the first movie didn't happen. So what are the lessons that were learned from the first movie? If the second movie doesn't even acknowledge the lessons that were learned in the first one. It just says, oh yeah, this happened before. Oops. And then they say, oh yeah, we learned these lessons again. The movie is just confusing. It's just a confusing roller coaster. And just like with the first movie, instead of a creepy dude shoveling snow, we get a creepy bird lady. It's just like, the movie, it doesn't even try. Now, surprisingly, it's still written by John Hughes, and it's still directed by Chris Columbus, so the movie is still well written and well directed. But while it is well written and well directed, it's still extremely unoriginal and distracting about how much it's like trying to be the first movie. This movie even has the typical, we did it again. I hate that. I really don't like that. It was the one thing I hate about The Hangover Part 2 is that I can't believe this is happening again. It's just like, I just see them writing it just being like, I can't believe this is happening again. Well, they have to say it at some point, you know? Like, I would say it too. How could this happen again? And Kevin's mom has to feel like shit after this one. She can't, like the first movie, it's a misunderstanding, big family, blah, blah, blah. Second movie, it's just... have better set of eyes, man. The bandits are also a lot dumber. Now sure, again, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are great. Daniel Stern is hilarious. Joe Pesci grunting is funny. Good stuff. But they are so dumb. Daniel Stern, the entire movie, is now calling them the sticky bandits. So he's like, he has duct tape wrapped around his entire hand. So he's like going around just stealing people's things. But he's in New York City. You can't just steal things like so amateurishly how they are and not get caught. And these two just broke out of prison. I do not buy anything in this movie at all. This is just a sequel. It's just a rehash. It's literally just a rehash. Overall, guys, this movie is just a repetitive bore. It's the same exact movie as the first one, but even though it's a repetitive bore and it's the same, we still get an amazing performance from Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, Catherine O'Hara. All those people are still good. And the writing isn't bad, even though the story is extremely, extremely unoriginal. But again, the cinematography is still nice, and that John Williams score, do I have to say any more? Guys, that's what I think about Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I was gonna do the entire Home Alone franchise, so that means I was gonna do 3, 4, and 5 after this. But I don't have the energy, so I'm just leaving it at Home Alone 1 and 2. It's like the only ones with Macaulay Culkin and Joe Pesci, so I feel like those are the only ones I should review. Alright guys, that's what I think about Home Alone 1 and 2. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me, or do you guys not agree with me? Let me know, battle me, comment, yell at me, do whatever you want in the comment section. I don't care. Torture me if you want. You can follow me on Twitter at I'mJustin_420, and be sure to stay tuned. I have more reviews coming at you, at your face. That was inappropriate. I always go to like jerking dicks. I don't know what's wrong.